Hello, my name is Swarna Sakshi. I am here today to introduce the fabulous Maddie Lucke. Now, Maddie joined us here at St. Mary's in her junior year, and she was lucky enough to be blindly thrown into the craziness that is the class of 2016 and the quirkiness that is St. Mary's. Throughout her time at St. Mary's, she has been the epitome of cool, calm, and collected. So please put your hands together for our pillar of sanity, Madeline Rose Lucke.
I am scared of lots of things. Spiders, heights, elevators, the list goes on. But the thing I am most afraid of is uncertainty. This is a fear I had to face 2 years ago when I lived in Atlanta, and my father sat me down to tell me he was offered a job in Memphis. My first reaction to this news was disbelief, because Memphis seemed super random. I didn't really know anything about Memphis, and in fact, at the time, I couldn't have told you what state it was in. However, I soon began to understand what this news meant, that my family would be moving away from my home in Atlanta to a new place. Seeing as I was about to move to a city I knew absolutely nothing about, I decided it would be a smart move to go ahead and Google Memphis. This is what I found on Wikipedia. Memphis, along the Mississippi River in southwest Tennessee, is known for its music and food. This was super general and not helpful at all, so I decided to dig a little deeper into Google. I found an article that stated, by 2014, Memphis crime had substantially decreased, bringing the city's rankings up to 11th in violent crime. Yes, it had decreased to the 11th most violent city in the US. This was absolutely terrifying. However, I knew that Google was not the best representation, so I decided to ask my parents, who had been visiting Memphis for a few weeks, what it was really like. My father told me that the descriptions I had read out were extremely accurate, as there were tons of food and crime. He had even seen his coworkers in Memphis legitimately fighting over what their favorite barbecue place was. He said everyone in Memphis took sides on what barbecue place was best, and that's just part of the culture there. This news again terrified me. I did not eat barbecue at all, and honestly thought this would hold me back from making friends at my new school. In case you all were wondering, no, my lack of barbecue knowledge did not make my life at St. Mary's difficult. From all my research of Memphis, I had concluded it was a super dangerous city whose crimes were all motivated by barbecue rivalries. I kept this mindset until I began to become more acclimated to Memphis when I actually moved here. I had imagined my life in Memphis for months before I moved. I thought I was going to have a rough summer since I didn't know anyone, and then once I started school, everything would slowly get better, and hopefully after a few weeks, I'd have some friends. This expectation was completely shattered when I actually moved here. I did in fact have a rough summer, but not because I didn't know anyone or I didn't make any friends, but because I ended up living in a single hotel room with my family of 5 for several months. And when I actually started school, I made friends immediately. Everyone was so open and nice and sincerely tried to be nice to that super awkward new girl. I had planned for what my life might be like at my new school. I went through endless what-if scenarios, and it never occurred to me that this was useless. My experience with moving to Memphis was absolutely nothing like I had ever imagined it would be. In contrast to every high schooler ever, I loved my junior year. Not because I really liked taking the SATs over and over again, but because I had worried for so long over what my first year at a new school would be like that once I was there, the entire year was a relief. From my moving experience, I've learned there's no use in fearing uncertainty. You cannot control what you don't know. I still go a little crazy at times with anxiety over the what-ifs of life, but I'm working to let go more. By focusing on the uncertainties that we cannot control, we let the present pass us by. I began to enjoy my life so much more when I actually moved to Memphis because I didn't have to worry about the uncertainties of moving anymore. I could finally just live my life. So here's my advice to all of you. Try not to worry about what you can't control. Look to the future less so you can enjoy the present more. Thank you.